Powering up essential systems. Booting root C/audio logs. Reviewing previous data cells. Repairing audio files.
No one has any plan. This is just my new life now. I forgot why I was here.
All right, so Bravo might still be asleep until someone actually wakes him up.
I'm gonna walk over to LaCosta and I'm gonna pull it out of my bag and just be like, I stole this. If you're considered missing, why don't you just leave? Carter was present for my entire speech. Bravo, the question that we should be asking is, what is the Resistance doing now?
What I'm saying is, we need to work with what we've got. We don't got any fighters. I mean, so is mine.
Well, yeah, but
we're the same.
I would walk by the mechanic center. What does that building look like?
you see two very heavily built guards. He goes, "Oh, Rex! Nice to see you. Come on in."
That's an internal monologue of Rex's right now.
Has anyone told you the story of how this place came to be? Everyone looks for shelter. It's one of the basic human needs. What's Rex's internal thought process right now?
I think this is the first time since he's broken in that he feels worried.
Rex doesn't want to be an experiment.
I don't think so, but he's still gonna have to say yes, of course.
The camera fades in from black. What we see is sunlight filtering through the dust in the air, coming in through some crack in a boarded up window. We hear the deep groaning of a building that's swaying and shifting slightly in the wind. The musty smell of a place long left abandoned is what fills our nostrils. But this place isn't abandoned. In fact, there's currently 5 people in one room. 2 of their names are Bravo and Dice. The other 3 are Carter, Lucasta, and Dahlia, the permanent residents of this super secret base for the Resistance here in New Pittsburgh. Now, y'all, it's been a little bit. Lucasta got back in the morning with news that the Resistance leaders had indeed agreed to come and do an emergency meeting, but you do have to wait for that. It sounds like it will be happening, though, later this day or maybe tonight. Dice, you've done a lot of work over the night while Bravo slept, which also might have been the most helpful thing he could have done in the instance. Building bridges with Dahlia. Carter may still be suspicious of you all, but Dahlia trusts you, at least. When we last left the bunch of you and cut over to Rex, you were all huddled over a desk as Bravo was beginning to verbalize and sketch out a plan of attack, or brainstorming some ideas at least, before the meeting began. Do we want to pick up there, or do we want to fast forward through time a little bit?
I am always down to fast forward until the actions happen.
Me as well.
Alrighty. What does it look like for you guys just kicking around this place? Now that you're not actively prisoners, but that you're just waiting for the people who need to be there to have this meeting to show up. Is it different than the first time when y'all were waiting for Lucasta to get back overnight?
Honestly, not really. I think Dice is just sitting around waiting for it to happen, maybe poking around at. They had a bunch of stuff on the first floor, kind of poking through whatever's down there.
Mm-hmm.
If allowed.
Yeah, I think at this point you're allowed to leave this room. Dahlia does go with you because, it's still her responsibility to make sure things are good. But again, you have a much better relationship with her now. It's cooperative instead of supervisory.
Bravo gets into a more helpful mode. So I'm looking around, because I'm a mechanic at heart, I'm looking for things that I can fix. I think there's a door that's stuck, and I'm seeing if I can get it working. And at one point, it comes unstuck all of a sudden, and it swings over and hits me in the head. I'm like, oh, man. I feel like I just forgot a bunch of stuff, as if my world has been paused for 3 months. Oh, man.
Yeah, you rattled the hard drives in your brain. You need to stay still for them to read properly.
Yeah. Oh, man. I might have trouble remembering some specific details.
Robert, are you okay?
Yeah, hey, when's this meeting started? I feel like we've been waiting 3 months for it.
Carter kind of pipes up in the car like, yeah, it feels like it for sure. As time goes on, the sun dips below the horizon and people start to trickle in. They come one at a time with many, many minutes between each of them. Over the course of about 90 minutes or so, 5 people come and gather in that main room where you all are currently staying. Dice, Dahlia is kind of giving you a little bit of a rundown of these people as they come in. She goes, that man right there, that's Adam Altman.
Okay.
He's one of the clerks for the city. As some time goes by, she then points out a rather like short lady. She goes, her name is Kian, Kian, if you're spelling it.
Okay.
She goes, she's one of the mechanics working on the facilities. She continues to kind of go through this and point this out. She points out 3 other people as they go through. Easton and Poppy Gallant. They are a couple, respectively. They both work as auditors for the state-run markets that exist. And the last person to come in is Talia Walker. Talia works as a researcher in the Federal Square or Administrative Center. That I can't remember exactly what we've called it. But all in all, these 5 people gather. Adam Altman, he takes a place behind the desk at the end of the room, kind of situating himself at the head of this meeting. He speaks to all of you. Alrighty, well, this is obviously very short notice, and we don't really know exactly what's all going here. Lucasta, you said that these people are here to help us, and Lucasta, that she nods. And she pipes up and goes, these 2 came in a few nights ago, and they say that they're here to help us from a city called Eden. Adam, he looks over at the 2 of you, kind of quirks an eyebrow. This very unassuming couple of people standing in the huddle in front of him.
I kind of like look around. Hi. Am I good to talk now? I'm sorry. I'm not from here. I don't know if you follow like specific order to your meetings.
Adam goes, well, let's keep this brief to make sure that none of us end up getting found out. I guess give yourselves the plead your case, I guess. Why are you here?
So, we are from out of town, and we are here to try to help this city become a little bit more free. Through any means necessary.
He basically hits it on the head. My name is Agnes Dice. I usually just go by Dice.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't introduce myself. My name is Bravo 905 India 68 Kilo Whiskey Tree Zulu.
And we call him Bravo.
You see, looking around, Easton's been taking notes. He's the one who's been jotting down the minutes, and he just his pencil just stops about halfway through your name, Bravo, and just scribbles out a little bit and scratches something a little shorter. And Adam, he says, you're peculiar timing that you all have come here. You say you're from out of town.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if this is a bad idea if this will be feeding into too much of your suspicion about out-of-towners. Is your main worry the idea that we're not actually from out of town and that we're undercover from the government? Or is your main worry that out of town means that we're scary?
Oh, no, we're more worried that out of town means that you're undercover from the government and actually just a plant here to try and suss us out and make our lives miserable and, torture us forever and ever after we get caught by the police because of you. I'm not going to let that happen, by the way.
Do we have any form of ID or anything from, Eden?
I mean, I have a piece of technology that they definitely don't have here. I kind of make an uneasy grimace towards Dice. Do you think I should show them?
I mean, why not? What's the worst that's gonna happen?
I mean, they could try to dissect me. That's the worst that could happen. Okay.
Do they look like they have the stuff to dissect you?
No, they don't even have a working printer. Guys, I have in my car a device that can scan people's brains. So if you want to scan our brains, you could do that.
But we have to get out to the car. That's a tricky situation, Bravo.
That's a little harder. Okay. All right, guys. Do you promise not to freak out if I show you something from the outside world that will be a little disturbing to you?
Talia is kind of sitting here as you two kind of bicker a bit amongst yourselves. And she's just kind of sitting there with her finger stroking her cheek. Dice, this makes a lot of sense to you as she was introduced to you as a researcher.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just hearing this conversation. Bravo's like, I've got this tech in my van out in the woods down by the river. Got this tech out in his van that is from a place that she wouldn't understand it as a no. It's piquing interest.
Okay. So, resistance peeps. Who is in favor of me showing you something that is not from around here as proof that I am not a member of your government?
So Talia straight up raises her hand.
Wait for a vote.
Oh, yeah, totally. Adam's looking quizzically, but Kian's actually the one that pipes up, and she goes, now, hold up a minute. What are you going to show us?
I'm from a different city that is also very controlling, and I left that place behind, but they built something into my body when I was a child that if I took out, I would die. So I can show you that, and I'm pretty sure they don't have those here.
That's not a bad idea.
You still haven't told us what it is. A bomb does the same thing that you're talking about right now.
It's a computer. Okay, enough suspense. I lift up my beanie and I show them the machinery that's built into the side of my head. So I'm guessing they don't have that around here.
Yeah, they're Bravo, you have the floor now. There's an audible gasp. Talia's getting as close as she can, and she's still being respectful. She's she knows, and not touching anything. She's just looking around. It's fascinating. Easton is glancing up, back and down as he looks back and forth through his notes, and you get a little glance as he's writing, trying to figure out how to phrase Bravo has strange head computer.
I'm starting to get uncomfortable with all the attention, and I pull the beanie back down.
So that is Bravo's thing. I don't necessarily have anything like that to prove I'm not some sort of spy for the city, but I do have valuable talents. I am highly proficient with things of the healing ailment variety.
And a little bit magic, I say under my breath.
Adam was like, okay. We get it. You're special.
I mean, yeah, kind of. Not to be that guy, but we're here. Let's get rolling.
Okay, well, what do you want to do? That's the real question. You come here, you seem to know what's going on. What's your plan? What are you trying to do?
I guess that's the main thing is we have experience taking down a dystopia before, but it was a different city. You all know what the fight is like here. I guess we want to listen first, but then formulate a plan, because if we wait forever before acting, that's just one other way to stay enslaved.
I guess we are here to kind of help you guys filter out any corruption that you have within your city. We definitely came in here not knowing too much information about what's going on, because information about this place was a little hard to come by. But we definitely want to know what the resistance is about. What are you guys trying to achieve? Because we want to help you with that.
With this, Poppy speaks up. She goes, "We're here to free ourselves from the oppressive rule and get ourselves out from under the thumb of Tara. This place is despicable. The lengths to which they go to maintain what they call the peace is just, it's unacceptable to us."
Yeah. Wait, Tara?
Sorry. Do you know Vodka Tara Green?
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
As soon as you said vodka, I was like, that's right. Okay. Yes, we do know of her, just not a whole ton about her.
But yeah, that's the spirit. All right. Get out from under that thumb. Quick side question. So that comment about the brain scanner thing was real. Are you all worried about moles in your own ranks? Because I feel like in places like this, that might be the biggest problem with the resistance, and we could figure out real quick if you guys have a mole.
You see there's a couple of shifting glances shared amongst everyone, but Adam takes his fist and he slams it on the table. He goes, "Enough. Look, we don't trust you really as is, and we don't need outsiders coming and sowing dissent in our ranks."
This isn't dissent. This is an opportunity to know for sure. Opportunity for real trust.
Here's a question for you. So you say it's in your van, which is outside of the city, right? How do you propose to get it?
Okay, so I've been thinking about this. This little hideout is built into the walls of the city, right?
More or less.
I mean, this is probably the easiest way to get outside the walls. Is there some sort of secret exit from this hideout?
Dahlia speaks up and she goes, "Yeah, absolutely. It'd be a bad place if there was just one entrance and exit."
So, a party, including myself, go outside the walls under cover of darkness, make a wide loop around the city, get the van, make a wide loop back.
That's actually not a bad plan, Bravo. I hadn't even thought about that.
I mean, my main contribution to this team is being able to make stuff, and the van is my entire workshop. Plus, that helmet thing seems really useful, and I haven't even had a real cause to use it yet.
You are correct. It is very intriguing. I will not lie.
Bravo. I need you to roll to seduce or manipulate.
Good. My first roll's a 1. That's not great, but my second is a 6. So 7 plus 1 is an 8.
I swear you were I thought I was like, oh man, I can't wait to hear the -1 for hot. I thought you were gonna have that.
No, I got +1 hot at some point. I think I started at 0. So 8 is 8 complete success?
8 is partial.
Oh, bummer.
Partial,
so close.
So Adam,
so close.
He thinks about it for a second, and he looks at you and he says, "If you'll excuse me one moment." And he gestures for the other people who came in with him to come in. They go into like a small huddle to speak quietly amongst themselves.
Is it all of them, including Lucasta, Dahlia, and Carter?
It definitely includes Carter. Dahlia and Lucasta kind of hang back. This is a discussion amongst the leadership of the resistance, but Carter feels fine inserting himself in that conversation.
Okay. I lean over to Dice and I say, Did you see how Adam reacted when we suggested a way to scan people's minds for moles?
I did. That was a little... He jumped on that pretty quickly.
I mean, it makes sense for them to be suspicious. They were raised in a society built on suspicion of foreigners. So, it's not... Doesn't mean for sure he's bad, but definitely makes me want to get the brain scanner more.
Totally understandable, but we also did come in here saying, let's scan everybody's brains to see if anybody is not telling the truth. And I know that personally, if I was in that situation, I probably would have been pretty similarly skeptical. We're not the most trustworthy looking people.
The thing is, my suspicion would have been, oh, I don't want anybody messing with my brain. It's interesting that his problem is, oh, you're here sowing dissent.
We'll see. It was a little interesting. I will not lie.
As you are having this kind of tail end of the discussion, the group breaks. The huddle breaks. They all come up and they approach you all. And Adam speaks and he says, we've come to a decision. You, Mr. Bravo, you have a good point. It seems you may have something to offer us.
Thank you.
But in return for us trusting you enough to let you leave this place, we need, and he looks over you, Dice, we need your help with one of our goals, Miss Dice.
Well, absolutely. I'm here to help, like I said.
All right, he goes and says if this is a amicable agreement.
It sounds good. I just want to make sure I understand. Are these things... What's the timeline here? Because we can go out tonight to get the van. When's this task for Dice?
So with this, Adam looks over at Kian. And Kian goes, we've received information from one of our informants that a person of great interest amongst the guards has been moved from there to the research center. Now, if our person on the inside is correct, this person could be a great asset to us. But as Talia can confirm, he may not ever come out of the research center in one piece. We'd prefer him on our side rather than theirs.
Bravo, do you think?
Is he very, very huge?
Do we happen to know this individual's name?
Does he have the ability to run through walls?
Does he look really terrifying when you look at him?
Hey, I'm not that scary looking.
It's as if he's with us now.
It's like I can
Does it
hear
sound
him.
like he's in this very room?
I can still
And everyone
hear
turns
his
to
little
see.
voice.
Did he just very recently show up in this city?
Does he have a voice that sounds as if he's constantly chewing on a toothpick?
Adam just goes, okay, we get it. Cut to the chase. I presume
This is the
you know this
strangest
guy.
game of 20 questions.
So we think that that's the third party member of ours. We did send a member of our group to try to infiltrate the guards so that we could get sort of double agent information from the inside.
So now I'm a little more concerned about this. What do you mean he might not come out of this research facility in one piece?
And with that, we fade over to Rex.
Ah!
Oh, man!
You have the great honor and pleasure of becoming one of Papa Tuscan's many helpers in his never-ending fight against the outside world. Now, when you agreed to this particular assignment, it was with some trepidation, was it not?
Yes, I believe that if I remember where we had left off correctly, Rex is kind of feeling a little worried for one of the very few moments in his life.
I believe that is also correct. Rex, with you agreeing to this, Papa Tuscan, he cracks a great smile. He goes, thank you so much for agreeing to help with this. This is invaluable. I see no reason to waste any more time. Shall we just head on over there?
Yeah, sure. Let's see what this is all about.
Papa Tuscan, he walks around his desk that he's been pacing behind during this conversation he's been having with you. And he opens the door and beckons you to go out in front of him. As the two of you make your way out of the room, the two guards that stand outside of Papa Tuscan's office fall into step behind the two of you. To paint a picture of recollection. They are specifically designed to be terrifying. Their armor is pitch black, except for the skull kind of insignia on their face shields and the white accents that run along their uniform. What are the thoughts going through Rex's head as you all move out of this building and cross the courtyard towards the research center?
Gosh. Man, what is he feeling like? Like, especially with the guards, like, are they like as big as him?
Oh, for sure. These are some beefy boys. Now, you are the only gun lugger. These guys don't pale in comparison to that form, but like, there's some big boys.
Got it. I want to read a person.
Alrighty.
I want to read Papa Tuscan. That is a 6 + 1. That's a 7.
Alrighty. So with a 7, you get to ask one question from the list. And just to like refresh the questions, it's, is your character telling the truth? What is your character really feeling? What does your character intend to do? What does your character wish I to do? Or how can I get your character to do blank? Or to like feel blank?
So I get to ask one. What's Papa Tuscan really feeling?
You look Papa Tuscan up and down as you are walking side by side. Maybe you're a half step behind him. I don't know. As you head towards the research center, you see a certain bounce in his step. He's masking it pretty well, but he's experiencing like just some true like schoolboy giddiness. He gets to experiment on something and figure out why it ticks. And he is excited for that.
That's a bit unsettling. I'd classify Rex as slightly unsettled.
Alrighty.
What does the building look like? Well, as we're approaching it, what does it look like?
Yeah, this building, as you approach it, it's several stories tall. This area of the city is very well maintained. The buildings are in good repair. Most of them are made of brick. This one is no different. Clean red brick forms the outside of this building as the company that you're part of walks towards it. You are able to nab the several cameras posted outside of this building, watching the door. It looks as if this building had like the front of it transplanted from a medical university almost and moved into here. As you approach the doors and you all enter inside, this place is clean and clinical. The walls and floors are a stark white, and the person at the front desk greets you and Papa Tuscan with a stand and a salute.
How does he respond to that?
Papa Tuscan nods at the person behind the desk and gestures over towards you, Rex. He says, we need to check my friend Rex in for some standard checkups. The person behind the desk nods, and he goes and he pulls out a clipboard with just like a form to fill out. And he asks you the questions to go through the list and get everything filled out that he needs. He asks your name. He asks your age. And he asks where you're from.
Boy, now Rex is getting a lot more nervous because the last time he was asked a medical questionnaire, he had to lie about those kidney stones. He doesn't want to do that again. Where I'm from?
Yes. I guess here's the question. Do you answer these honestly?
Well, I think I answer everything honestly, particularly the one about where I'm from, where I say, I grew up and spent most of my time in New Orleans. Wandered a lot around after that.
The person goes, okay, and he just jots it down. And with that, he's the one that guides you and Papa Tuscan and the two guards through the building. Now, this building, the interior it's interesting. It's a little bit of a winding maze of hallways. You're turning right and left. You're passing these large open rooms with rows of desks, different areas that are filled with either like planter boxes or mechanics tools. There's one room that is literally nothing but filing cabinets that you pass by. There's a room full of technology with different blinking lights and screens showing different feeds of video footage, still images.
There's not many patients here, are there?
Papa Tuscan, he answers you, no, not on this level. Most of them are up on the second floor.
Oh, okay. What's the standard checkup?
It's nothing that would be unfamiliar to you. I presume we just want to make sure that you're healthy and we at least understand what's going on before we try to diagnose exactly what makes you so special and unique.
Right.
Yep. Eventually you're led up a set of stairs to the second floor. This floor definitely has the signs and the trappings to deal with people much more than stuff. You are led to a room and are given a kind of like a set of scrubs or something to wear while you're in here and participating in the research that goes on. You get changed into the scrubs that they've provided you. They take you like the kind of standard stuff that you get if you're doing a normal checkup at the doctor, right? They measure your blood pressure. They get a measurement of your height and weight for their readings. They do an eye test. How well is Rex's sight? This is just an honest question. Like, I imagine it's probably totally normally fine, but...
I mean, it's great, but the part where he has to read out the letters is going to be an issue.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, you have the guy. He goes, okay, so why don't you just read me the top line, the one on the top. I'm going to stand up with a clipboard. He goes, okay, interesting. How about the next line?
You know, that one there, that's an X and a 2.
All right, the man is looking a little bit concerned, and Papa Tuscan goes, he can see fine. Let's move on.
Yeah, the seeing part I'm great at, but I hope there's no reading portion of this medical exam because I don't do that.
No worries. Yeah, so you move on from that portion of the examination, and you move on to just physical testing. Rex, would you roll me a hard roll?
Heck yes. I mean, no, I won't. That is an 11.
An 11. Alrighty. So Rex, you are astoundingly great at this.
Darn tootin' I am.
They've got you doing everything, right? They're like, okay, we need you to hold a plank for 3 minutes. Blow past it. They're like, what's your mile time? They test it. You fantastic. All in all, you just rock it with the physical tests. You're showing up just fantastic, great scores, awesome marks. Now this testing, like this part of the testing especially, this takes a while. You're doing like 2.5 hours of this kind of rigorous physical testing exercise.
I like these tests. These are easy. Is this all there is to it?
The person who's leading your testing goes, well, this is just the first part. You pass through this with flying colors. Imagine you'll do really great with the rest. We'll give you like 5 minutes. Here's a water bottle. We'll begin the mental testing.
Oh no.
So, you get a couple of minutes to sit down, rest.
Is anyone watching me during the resting? Like where am I seated in that meanwhile?
There are some chairs in the room that you've been doing this testing in. The people that are in this room with you you've got the person running the test. Papa Tuscan has had a great interest and has actually stayed with you this entire time, as have his 2 personal guards. It's like this room's a little cramped.
Oh, okay. Well, that's no fun. I was wondering if I'd be, like when you're at the doctor's office and they leave you alone for a couple minutes. Oh, well.
Not quite yet.
Dang. Okay. Well, I guess I drink water. Stay hydrated, by the way.
Yes, a good PSA from our good friend Rex Kilgore. Stay hydrated.
Drink water or I'll hurt you.
Awesome. So after you get a little bit of a breather, you move on to mental and cognitive testing. Would you roll a sharp roll for me?
Oh, oops. 5.
5. Rex, it's a struggle. Not gonna lie. Some parts of it you get pretty okay when it's like the written questions that are read to you about what would you do in this situation strategically. What's most advantageous here? But it's hard, man.
No, it's sharp.
Touche. However, in this case, Rex is not too sharp. Overall, just it's a struggle to get through this section. It takes you far longer than even the physical testing did.
It's been quite a long time since I've had to do this kind of exam. I can tell you I passed it back in my guard training in New Orleans. So what if we just use those scores and call it good?
What were those scores?
Exceeds expectations.
The person nods and goes, I can see that. Okay, yeah. So after the cognitive testing, they lead you back downstairs into the mess hall, and you are given free lunch for your participation in the studies.
Da-da-da, da-da-da-da.
Free food, free food.
I have a quick question, by the way.
We completed the side quest.
When last we left off, I had my harm clock filled out to 6.
Mm-hmm.
Is it still 6?
Was your harm clock really all the way at 6?
Yeah.
Because he smashed through the wall, and then I healed a segment, and then he smashed through another wall.
Heal one segment. It's been some time since you smashed through that wall in the police station.
Sounds good.
I had totally forgotten about that. But yeah, so you can heal one segment because it's been a couple of days since you did that.
Golly gee, what's for lunch? And is there anyone else here eating lunch? It's like
Actually,
a cafeteria? Or?
basically, yeah. So like this room is definitely set up like a cafeteria. You have the wall on one side that has the metal shelf that you can slide your tray along and get your scoop of mashed potatoes and your green something probably made of vegetables. And I mean, we ain't saying it's good, but it's food. That's their motto here in the research center cafeteria.
So there's other people here. So like I'm in some sort of like scrubs, presumably for testing.
Yep.
What are the other people in? And like how many are there?
Yeah. So you're having lunch with about, I'd say like 24 other people. It seems like this is a pretty common time to, or at least near it, to have your lunch. The people here are in all kinds of dress. You've got some people wearing like mechanics coveralls. They're covered in grease stains, paint, all sorts of different things. Some of them have like little like charred holes in them from where like sparks or flames or welding slag may have burned through the material at some point. You have people who are wearing your very stereotypical lab coats. They appear to have come from a place of more traditional research and development. And still others are wearing more plainclothes kind of dress. Apparently people who are working with more technical side of things as opposed to the biological or material. It's a full room. There's still plenty of room for more people in here, but for this about 24.
Is my posse still with me?
Yes.
Oh.
So the posse is still with you. The researcher and Papa Tuscan have actually gotten lunch with you. The 2 guards are standing by the door. They're still on duty. They're not hovering around you.
All right. Well, I suppose there's not too much I'm going to be trying here then.
All right. Is there anything you wish to like talk about or take a closer look at while you have a 30 minutes, an hour or so to eat your lunch? And
well, I'd really like to try to talk with some people, but I don't want to do that when I've got,
a retinue.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
No, I think I just might eat.
You have your meal. There's a little bit of like small talk, kind of busy talk that goes on between the research assistant that's leading you through this and Papa Tuscan. The general like kind of hubbub and chatter that goes through this room is pretty standard as far as like a room full of people. You catch little snippets of conversation about some people talking about how they're the work that they've been doing. The plants haven't been growing at the rate that they'd be hoping to. Or one group of fellows is talking about the effects of different colors of background on the broadcasts that they do and how they think that, well, blue is a much more effective color in this regard, but if we're talking about specifically this, we need to use a more greenish one to get the effect across that we need.
What a bunch of nerds.
Bunch of medical mumbo jumbo.
There's a couple of people over in the corner. They have some like paper and they like are rolling dice. There's one person who seems to be in charge of this group of weirdos and
nerds. So Papa and the other researcher are probably at the same table as me then.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What kinds of things are they talking about there? So all this medical sounded nonsense.
The researcher goes, "Oh, we research all kinds of things here. We've been putting a lot of effort right now into trying to find ways to get the most yield from our crops. There's not a lot of space inside the city that we can use. We want to make sure that we use it the best as we possibly can. We've actually been really working on extracting a specific kind of tomato that gets bigger during the winter than it does during the summer."
Oh, okay, yeah. Good stuff. Food. You know, I have a question. This is you do like doctory stuff, I assume.
I'm aspiring.
No, a while. What?
I'm aspiring to, yes.
Right. Well, I had this, let's say I had this friend a while ago. You know, shortly before I joined into New Pittsburgh. And I'd hurt myself. And she did this thing where she, like, I was injured. And then she, like, touched my shoulder. And then the shoulder was just, like, okay after that. Do you know what might do something like that? How that works?
The researcher, like, goes, "Really? Did that happen? That is fascinating. You will have to tell me more. I need all the details." Like, okay, so when she touched you, just to answer the question, no, I've never heard of this ever before. This is totally weird. But anyway, when she touched you, was it skin to skin? Was she touching you through clothing? Was she, like, wearing special gloves or anything? Like, you have to tell me everything.
Well, I don't remember a lot, honestly.
Okay.
I was like, you know, hurt.
Researcher goes, that makes complete sense. Okay, well, okay. This asks so many questions. This is okay. Where, and this, like, he's just kind of like, at this point, he's almost more muttering and asking questions to himself at large. He's not even waiting for responses from you, as he just, like, is thinking.
I kind of just, like, look at Papa Tuscan, like, what?
Papa kind of just shrugs. You get this idea of, like, nerds. He leans into you and he goes, "I like these people, but sometimes they think a little too much."
Yeah.
But yeah, Papa Tuscan, he kind of, like, slaps you on the back and he goes, "Anyways, you ready to continue with this evaluation? I think we're getting closer to figuring out why you are so special."
Yeah, let's continue on with that. I sure hope the rest of the tests are more like the physical one.
And he goes, "It'll be unique." And he and the researcher begin to lead you from the room. You head back upstairs because the mess hall's on the bottom floor. You head back upstairs and they take you to a room. Now, this room has one solitary chair in the center. The walls appear to be plated in some kind of metal that's been scrubbed immaculately clean. There are 4 cameras, one in each of the top corners of the room. But besides that, this room is bare.
Okay.
As you're led into this room, the research assistant beckons you to take a seat in the chair.
I sit in the chair.
All right, Papa Tuscan, he goes, "Rex, you are, well, I mean, first of all, let's review where we are today. Fantastic physical shape, peak condition, totally incredible, and not lacking in the important regards of the mental abilities. But in there, we haven't found anything that would explain your ability to fortify yourself against our walls."
Oh, I think the physical test explained that. I mean, did you see that bench?
Because it was truly impressive. There's just one last thing that we need to check to make sure that we're not ignoring or ruling out any factors that could be influencing your physique. Just wait in this room. Just relax. We'll come get you when the observation is done.
Okay.
Oh.
And Rex, the research assistant, and Papa Tuscan leave the room. They shut the door behind them. And you hear the bolt slide.
Okay. Yep.
How good is Rex at like keeping track of time internally? How good would you say he is at guessing how long has passed?
Poor.
Very poor.
Let's go with poor.
Rex, you sit in this room, and the time just drags on. 1 minute becomes 2, becomes 5, becomes 10, and you lose track after about 3 minutes anyways, but...
I was going to say after 15 minutes he's gone.
You look around this room. The walls reflect the blurry image of you. And as time goes on, you start to feel this kind of high-pitched, like, buzzing ringing. And it slowly but surely intensifies to the point where it starts to be the only thing filling your head.
Is it, like, painful?
Not necessarily. It's filling up all the space in there. It's like, it's getting difficult to, like, string thoughts together, in a sense.
I
say, how does Rex respond to this?
How long? Oh gosh, I know this is like a question. Because I've lost track of time. Does it feel like it's been more than an hour?
It feels like it's been a little less. You can't quite tell.
So, I guess I'm gonna have to wait for the point when something starts feeling like the buzzing. Yes, it's like annoying and it's obtrusive, but I need to know once it starts getting like painful, I think.
Rex, will you make a weird roll for me?
Sure. That is a 7.
A 7. Okay. The noise in the room, or in your head, continues to grow. It gets louder and louder and fuzzier. In, I'd say another like 15 minutes or so, it's getting so congested up in your brain that the images in the wall start to waver. They blur out. Your vision goes in and out of focus. And at one point, the pressure in your head starts to get to the point where you're actually starting to feel pain. And you hear a voice start to cut through the static. And the voice, it goes,
What? Can you repeat that?
As the pressure continues to build and intensify, the room fades into this inky void. The floor is the only thing that's left. You sitting in the chair. Most of the world has dissolved.
I can't tell. Sorry, let me ask. Is this like a vision or is it like more of a hallucination? Am I present in this?
Make a sharp roll.
By the way, with these 3 sharps that I've rolled and this one weird, I've just gained 4 experience.
Oh, fudge, I forgot about that. Anyways, whatever.
You're the one telling me to make all these rolls.
That is accurate. That is accurate.
That's a 12 on 12. Sharp.
Okay. As much as this hurts and it's bending your brain, you're able to keep a grasp. You're able to lock yourself down. You know this is it feels like a vision, but you're keeping some anchor points. This chair that you're in, it's real. It's still here. The ground, it's still here. It's real. The wall's gone. And you start to see peeping out through the void these beady red eyes. you hear what sounds like the rustle of feathers as the eyes kind of move and swirl around you.
Oh.
Eventually, they seem to congregate in front of you. And you start to see this form of a scrawny young boy crouching amidst this swirl of beady red eyes and flapping feathers.
Who are you?
The boy looks over his shoulder at you, and he kind of cocks his head curiously at you and doesn't respond.
So, this is another test. What? Rex looks around. He's like, "What am I supposed to do? I don't get it."
The boy looks at you and says, "Corbin is curious."
About what?
You.
You're the one that said. Sorry, you said something earlier. Like what was that? Find her. Was that you?
Yes. Corbin
And
did
who?
say that. Your sister.
You know her?
Yes, Corbin knows her.
Where is she? What?
The flock of ravens. It's swirling faster and faster. These beady red eyes around this young boy. And he goes, "You'll find Charlotte at the north end of the never-ending railway." At least that's what Corbin knows.
What railway?
The one covered in perpetual frost. It never ends. It never stops.
I don't know which one that is. The frozen railroad?
This vision is getting staticky. It's buzzing out. Your eyes are going blurry.
Don't keep it together. Come on.
The boy goes, "You must find her."
I'll get to that, but I need to know more.
The boy stands up from his crouch, and the eyes that have been swirling around him perch themselves like on his shoulders. And he looks at you and he says, "When you get out of here, Corbin will find you. Corbin will give you more information."
I get it. That makes sense now.
Rex, your vision starts to darken. You can tell you're passing out.
No, wait. I get it now. This is another test. They want me to break through another wall. I get it now.
Are you finally going to break through the fourth wall?
No, I'm serious. I want to try to roll for... If I'm still kind of grounded...
Yes.
Can I, in the physical world, genuinely try to do an oh yeah before I pass out?
Go for it. Full send, my brother.
They've kept him in here. They want to see him do it. They're torturing him. They're tormenting him. They want to see him do it under stress. And it just said escape. That's all he can think of now.
Alrighty, roll for it.
That's a 14.
What the fudge?
The oh yeah?
It does indeed. So 14 plus unmitigated success. It's a Rex. Actually, you can narrate this. Just know that so you're in the process of passing out. You will completely obliterate whatever wall you go through and have maybe like 10 or 15 seconds before you just collapse.
No, I don't even think I have that. I think I'm just gonna hurl myself through the wall and then probably fall to the ground. Not like immediately passing out, but
just hurl your.
I need to know what happens when I hurl myself through the wall that I can't see because I'm on the verge of passing out and blacking out.
True. Perfect. Okay. So Rex, Corbin tells you to get out, to find him, to find your sister. This resonates in your head, and all that you feel in this moment is you need to leave with all the effort you can possibly muster. As your consciousness fades, you push yourself up from the chair. Just take a hurling, charging, churning sprint, and you go straight into the wall. You can see it there. You can see anything. And as the sound of brick cracking and crumbling, as metal bending, twisting, and tearing fills your ears, the walls come back as they think blotted on the wall right as you hit it and spread to everything else in an instant. You comprehend the walls are back, that the room is back, that you're back in reality. as you go tumbling head over heel into the hallway and black out.
Well, at least the noise is gone.
True. Very true. As Rex fades out, we fade in to the conversation that was going on between Bravo, Dice, and the Resistance.
So, what do you mean he might not come out?
Kian goes, they do a lot of different kinds of, there's a lot of different kinds of testing that they do in there. They've been experimenting with things beyond the physical realm for almost as long as they possibly can. It's unethical, to say the least. Kind of looking over at Talia, and she's like, yeah, it's not good. If we don't get to him in time, there's definitely a chance that his body may still be here. He won't. Like, his mind.
Like he'd just be a shell?
Yeah. That'd be a good way to say it.
Ooh.
So we basically sent our comrade in to be tortured.
I mean, if you send him in to infiltrate the guards, it's not likely. But if they had a reason to put him under that kind of incredible testing, then maybe.
Why would they do that? What are they getting out of this? Just for fun?
Adam goes, no, it's General Tucson has been at war, so he says, with the outside world for as long as we've been able to get the walls up. He's never been satisfied with just holding everyone in here against their will and quote unquote protecting us. He's got his eyes set on bigger prizes. And so everything he does is to try and figure out a better way to achieve his ends.
Do they ever say what exactly you guys are at war with on the outside world?
Ethan, who's been taking notes for this time, he pipes up and he goes, well, it changes depending on time to time. You know, from June to October, it's generally the Crimson Cobras, and from November to May, sometimes late June, it depends on when they decide to change things around. It swaps over to kind of someone different. Sometimes it's been just strange forces in the West. Other times it's been zombies or like the packs of mutated creatures that run through. It kind of just really depends on what they're feeling like at the time.
That is...
As exhausting as that sounds, I think we need to focus on getting Rex out. As much as he sometimes really spins my servers, we need him. He is unstoppable on the battlefield.
Do you guys have any ideas on how to get him out?
Adam goes, I mean, as of right now, I don't have anything elegant. We can get our person on the inside. It'll blow our cover, unless guaranteed, but we can get you two, maybe Dahlia, if you'd be willing to go, and we can get Maggie in. We might be able to just bust him out and get before things go too far south.
Ooh. Okay, I walk over to the map. I say, so what building would he be in?
So as you look over the map, Talia goes, he'd be in the research center. That's where they'd have the equipment to do that kind of mental and psychic testing. It's just southwest of the administrative building where everyone's offices are that are in the government.
Okay, so it's on the other side of the city from us.
Mm-hmm.
Near a lot of other important buildings, probably watched pretty heavily.
Yes, they have a surveillance system dedicated solely to this building. They have a lot of money, time. Well, I guess money doesn't really matter in this society anymore. They have a lot of time and effort and secretive information sunk in here, so they try to keep it safe.
Okay. Now, you guys had already said that you needed my help for something. What is this something?
Well, I mean, and Adam responds, he goes, this something was going to be getting Rex out. So if we've decided to just change tacks and make this the important thing, I mean, that works for us.
Yeah. Listen, I don't want you guys to have to blow somebody's cover.
I'm with Bravo on that.
What if we just go in at night, break a window? What's the security like?
I mean, the security is pretty tight. They've got all their weapons development in there. They've got their biological development in there. They've got their They've got their information broadcast system in there. I mean, like, basically, if it's something used to control the city or make the city function at a bare minimum, it's in there. And so, like Talia said, it's got an entire dedicated security system. There are definitely guards that work there. And not only that, but until we get more information, we don't know where in the building Rex is. We know the general area because he's undergoing testing. But like beyond that, you want us to go like look in every single room when you go in there?
No, that's not. Talia, do you work there currently, or did you used to, or not at all?
Yes, I do work there currently. All of us are, with the exception of like Dahlia and Carter Lucas, all of us are currently functioning in our positions. That's how we're able to maintain our cover the way we have.
So would you be able to look in the systems, find where he is, without blowing your cover?
I think I could. Yeah, I would have to do it tomorrow. Otherwise, it would arouse suspicion.
Well, I do want to get Rex out. He is a formidable man. Do you mind if Bravo and I here just like confer about this really quick for a second?
I guess sure. Yeah, I mean, we did that just a second ago.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna pull him off to the side a little bit. Do you think we need to rush this?
I think we need to. If there's a chance they're gonna turn him into a shell.
The sooner the better.
Yeah, and although they didn't say it, if there's some sort of possibility that they have a way of controlling him, turning him into their own weapon, I don't think we would be able to stop him. The two of us plus this whole group of people versus Rex? I would put my money on Rex.
You have a really good point.
Do you remember that time in Denufunk where we were escaping from a building, and so we crossed, there was like a plank of wood that we used to cross over onto the roof of a different building. What if we just did that in reverse? I mean, their security is probably focused on people coming in from the ground floor.
So you're saying we break in from the top?
I turn back over to the rest of the group. Are there any other buildings close enough to the research facility that we could maybe use some sort of makeshift bridge to cross over? Maybe a building that's less guarded?
At that kind of idea, everyone kind of gathers around the map and like they're thinking for a minute, as the GM does as well. Yeah.
Should I roll for it in some way?
Actually, yeah, sure, go for it. That's Rita Sitch.
That's Rita charge situation.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Let's go for it.
And okay. Oh. 11.
Alrighty.
Wait. I do have the advanced moves. So that was a 9 plus my 2, but I have the advanced moves. So I get it. If I get it above 12 by somebody helping me, then it'll be the advanced version, which I don't know exactly what that does.
I mean, I'd say this is a pretty clear-cut opportunity, Dice. It's not like you're not participating in this.
It's not like I'm not looking at the map as well. All right. That is a 9.
A 9. Alrighty.
That's a +1.
That is a +1, yes.
All right.
So that gets you at exactly a 12.
Good. Okay. Advanced moves. On a 12 plus, ask any 3 questions you want, not limited to the list.
Okay. Shoot.
So, my first question is going to be, what's my best way in?
Well, if your plan for the best way in is to bridge the gap between an adjacent building and go in through the roof, Mission Impossible style, what you'd want to do. So if you take a straight line going southwest, heading towards that warehouse where y'all hid Rex the first night that you were here, there's a residential zone highlighted in blue. Then there's a building, and then the research center. You could use the residential zone as a way to like start stair-stepping your way up to the building adjacent to the research center, and then you could get across it that way. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
For my second trick, my next question will be, how many guards will there be patrolling the inside of the building? Not just watching the entrances, but like going around checking the rooms, stuff like that.
Yeah, so the best guess from like Talia and Kian, we were looking in the neighborhood of about a dozen, maybe edging on 20 on like something that's like recently gone wrong or something. Actively guarding the building and its surrounding grounds.
Actively patrolling. Okay, that's not good. Okay, one more question.
They've got a lot of their eggs in this one basket, so they're gonna protect it.
Third question is, are there any vents in the building large enough to fit a person? Any sort of like ways to move around the building where we wouldn't be in the hallways, whether that's vents, dumbwaiters, trash chutes.
So Kian takes the lead on answering this question for you. She goes, there's not really a lot of options in that regard. The furnace room does have some larger aftermarket ducts, but I don't know how extensive those are through the entire building. I imagine they've only been used to fix the parts that were broken we had to repair. There is the loading area. You could use like the service elevators probably to get around a little easier than using like the stairways. Yeah, I don't know about the vents.
Okay. Well, here's the plan that I'm suggesting. I say we take only people who don't have covers that they need to keep. We go under darkness and we go from this building to this building to this building so we can come in on the roof where they'll be least expecting us and try to be very sneaky. I'm confident that we can figure out where he is, whether that's through a last minute interrogation of a guard or technological means. See, I'm good with computers, you know? It's it's like I'm part computer. Haha, okay.
One may say it's all up in my business.
Yeah. I know computers like the side of my head. A member of our team is in danger, but we are a team, and what that means is we need to put ourselves at risk to get him back. So tonight, it's Rex or ruin.